Hey people, what is up? We are back here in the bedroom looking at a little special project here. That's some white gold. These are the Girl Scout cookies. Or the GSC, excuse me, not to be confused with Girl Scout cookies, because that would be a problem for some people. And we've got some GDP clones that I just took because I had to give those mothers a haircut. They were just getting out of damn hand. This one's starting to root. That's an older one. There's an older one. There's an older one. There's a new one. This is one of my OG Kush experiments. That's going okay. Had to move the other one down here to make room for those new clones, but you can see everything down here is looking good. It's nice to have some room. And these are white gold. Of course, what we just looked at was OG Kush. And there's some GDP here. So these are all just a mixture of GSC, GDP, and white gold. And I need to get myself another light, move this one out from the wall a little bit, get two of these. That way I can have a little bit more room to work here, work on both sides. That way I could get these 4 deep. Right now, 2 deep is easy to manage. 3 deep, got to be careful about breaking, branches when you're reaching through. But if I could get a little bit more room on the other side, then I could run these 4 deep with 2 of these light fixtures and work from both sides. That would be a rocking situation. You see over here, I gave told you this GDP was getting out of hand, so I gave it a major haircut. So you can see her, she's not as tall as me anymore, and she's pretty thin, but I've started new ones, so I just need this one to hang on, until I can make sure that I'm not going to need it to take any more cuttings. And then basically the same thing here with this white gold here. I just gave her a haircut, and I'll cut her down even more, once I'm sure that the cuttings that I've already taken are rooting well. And then this is the OG Kush. I just gave her a big haircut. She's shorter than me now. And again, I'll take her down a little bit more as well once she recovers. These things were really, really big, and I don't like to take too much off of them at one time to, I don't want to stress them out and kill them. Not until I'm sure I don't need them. And this is just a little experiment down here, because like I said, I had to give the GDP a haircut, so I've never tried just sticking cuttings in water before. I don't know if they'll root or what. I'm just kind of curious to see what would happen. So that's just a curiosity right there. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, on to the bedroom, or the flowering room rather. This is the last day of week 8 for these, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to let them go maybe another week, because I'm still seeing a lot of white hairs, and she's just starting. I don't know if you can really see it. She's just starting to turn some purples there on the edges of the leaves. So the purples are just starting to come through, but you can see they're all looking good, and I don't think another week's not going to hurt them, that's for sure. So I always like to let the dirt dry out anyway. So it's Saturday, and maybe they'll go another full week. I don't know. It just depends on how I'm feeling about it. They're looking good though. So they're frosting up quite nicely. I don't have the tripod, so it's going to be hard for me to hold this steady. I'll do my best. GDP sure is pretty to look at. Oh, I accidentally touched that leaf. I don't know how many of you other people make videos like this, but man, it gets weird getting here with the camera and you're trying to photograph things, and not hit lights and not break branches, and things can get cumbersome in a hurry. You add a tripod to that mix and things get stupid fast. You can see here, these are starting to get a little bit of purple into them. So, but it's still, you can see the all those white hairs. So like I said, it's definitely not going to hurt these things to go another, week, maybe more. I let the last run go 10 weeks, but I don't know that that was necessary, and I'd kind of like to see what pulling them a little bit early, if that makes a difference in the smoke. Getting back here in the corner, looking at these white gold. If you can see, some of these leaves on the top of the plant are they're cupping, and that's not really an issue, and it is to be expected because these things are under 1,000-watt high pressure sodium. So I'm going to show you why I like these high pressure sodiums. And there's nothing wrong with LEDs, I run those as well, but penetration. If you look, towards the tops of the plants here, these leaves are getting more light than they need, so they're like, hey man, can we slow things down a little bit? But once you get down here to the bottoms, the leaves aren't cupped anymore. It's because they're not exposed to the same intensity, but they're still getting plenty of light. So I would rather that the leaves at the top of the plant get a little bit too much light. That way the leaves down here at the bottom get plenty of light. That way I know that the buds down here at the bottom are getting all the light they need. And that's why, I can grow good buds all the way down. And I don't really have to worry about them, not being top quality buds. But you get that, and I know that the intensity of the light is high, but it's not so high that I'm getting any bleaching on the flowers. Let's see if I can get in there. Focus. Yeah, you see there's some nice purples in there coming in, and even those leaves right there are laying a little bit flatter than these leaves that are reaching up. But anyway, that's light intensity. And you see, once we get over here to the OG Kush, even these leaves that are higher than any of these over here, since they're not directly underneath the high intensity discharge, you can see they're not cupped at all. All of them, they're just saying, yep, we're cool. You can see these are starting to get some, there we go, some purples in there, some reds. But again, the last time, see if I can get this thing to focus. The last time, if I can hold it still, I ran these OG Kush. I let them go just under 12 weeks. And I'll probably do the same this time, just to get as much weight as I can out of them. Again, OG Kush looking very, very nice. Super, super frosty. Said this still has 2 or 3 weeks to go. She's looking good. Sorry about the shaky camera. I just could not bring myself to haul that tripod in here today. Pain in the ass. Anyway, they are looking good. And again, you can see that the structure is just completely different than these white gold. short, squat, bushy plants here. As opposed to these tall, leggy, slender. Said they make some pretty close-ups, but as far as, you know, huge buds go, not so much going to get them unless you grow these things outside and really let these things veg for a while and get huge, or scrog them out or something like that. But they're looking good. See my little short girls here in the center. They're still looking good. Dynamite comes in small packages and all that. You see her, she's just directly underneath the HID, and she's cupped a little bit there in these top. But once you get down here at the bottom, not so much. Okay, there we go. Still plenty of frost. Plenty of frost. That little girl. And you can see I've got my next crop down here. So they have been here for 1 week today. So they have transitioned. So, you know, in my opinion right now is when flowering begins for these girls, or, you know, the way I counted anyway. And there's 15 of them. And these 3 OG Kush I've got in these grow bags. Like I said, this is the first time I've ever used grow bags, so it's an experiment. It's weird seeing those roots start to poke out the sides. That's kind of new for me. And to get used to that. But anyway, they're all looking good. They're all looking good. The old HLG 65s up here kicking ass. I love these things. Alright, well, there it is, people. I hope your gardens are doing well if you're growing. If you're not growing, I hope you will be soon. Cheers, people. Later.